Hey guys, Runner here. Welcome to my full screen because Beam's a bit broken today, and doing it from the game window recording, it's just not having it today. So I'm doing this a lot. I don't know how this is going to go. If it looks alright, obviously you'll be seeing it now. If it doesn't, you'll never know this happened. But up front anyway, it's the first of 3 new cars instead of 2. It's the Hopper Wheelie Beast, although it doesn't actually wheelie. And it's in something like the old Taurus livery. In second place, another one of the new cars. The Barstow... Actually, I don't even know. It's called the Barstow new rear bumper, new side pipe, something like that. It's just a different version of the Barstow, really. In third, the 400 EX, still the only electric car in the series so far. In fourth, the car that needs to win. The Legrand Aerocoupe FH Race. And at the back, another new car. Instead of being the Super Vortex, it's the... I've completely blanked on the name of this car. But anyway, it's here because... First off, the Super Vortex crashed Beam, and then it was just like destroy what little FPS I already have. So, and with this... I think it's Sunburst EJD, something like that. And with this car, it actually works fairly okay. So as ever, let's put all the cars now onto random. I'm also going the other way because I don't want 7 rounds one way. Everything goes the same the other way. With this round though, obviously with the circuit being the other way around, things are a little bit different, although the same rules apply. 2 laps. First car cross line obviously wins, slowest car at the front, fastest at the back. Any car with the DNF or if they all finish last place will be out. And the Barstow is catching up very slowly. What even is my FPS at? 8. That's even worse than what I had. And okay, this is what I thought was going to happen. Everything's ramping over everything else. Everything else is going to make its way through. Okay, you know what? That's what I thought would happen. So you know what I'm going to have to do is what I thought I would have to do, because with everything crashing, I haven't got time to space things out even more. So what I'm going to do is give every car a little bit of time to get going first. Like so. Because everything can play like that, it's just going to be a round of crippled cars where nothing would actually, happen. Now let's put that one back at the start. Give this one a little bit of time to still go. I mean, everything was still going. But as damaged as it wasn't going to be going very far. Now it's going to get the Aerocoupe going. So everything's going to be a little bit spaced out now at the start. Like I said, with everything crashing before, having to reset this up, I haven't really got time to, to get everything going again. So it's going to be a prolonged start to the round, everything spaced out a little bit more than normal, but it's what I have to do for the round. If all the cars, if the Hopper wasn't open wheel, I don't think we'd be having these same issues, but it is, so this is what we have to do. It's just the round of issues, honestly. And heavy contact from the... Oh, that's taken out its... well, it's lost its lights, but the lights really aren't important. And then here's going to come some more contact now then from the EX. Actually, that's taken out the corner of it. And although, more importantly though, it's taken out itself. Is it going to keep it under control? It's going to tap the wall a little bit, but I think it's going to lose a lot of speed. And it's going to come back on the racing line. And is it still going to be wiggling? It's still wiggling. And next up to come is going to... Oh no, the car needs to win. It's going to plough straight into the back of the EX. Actually, that was not as bad as what I was thinking it was going to be. I was expecting just annihilation of either one or both of those cars. I thought these two were stuck together then for a sec, but no, they've made it up to the corner. And the difference is around, there's less braking zones where cars spin off, but this one is the harsh braking zone, so the car has no brakes through here. It is just that she's going to go spearing off. The EX definitely looks a bit worse, however. Everything's actually still attached to the car. I mean, only just, but it's still there. I'm spacing everything out. The Sunburst is actually yet to catch up, but that's not going to take much longer. And how is my FPS worse? I was on 11 before I pressed record. Now I'm on 8. Wow. Okay, well, if there's a puncture for the hopper. It's actually putting away a little bit. So this way round is also more like kind of acceleration based as well. And now then, here comes the Barstow once again, going to hit now onto the back. And yes, it does. That's a big hit. That is a big. That's taking it round. Although I think it's ramped over the wheel, possibly. No, it's going to get away with that. Well, it's destroyed that wheel completely. Is what it has done. And oh, and that's taken out the. That has taken out the Barstow. That has taken out the Barstow. Are they now stuck together? I wouldn't be surprised actually if they were. If these cars were actually now one. Oh, they're not though. They're not actually stuck together. Somehow. So now then, it's the car needs to win that leads the way, and oh, everything is just imploding. Well, the sunburst has made it past, I guess you could say that's making it past. And let's get the bumper now out off the rear wheel of the hopper. You can actually get hold of it. I didn't actually. I forgot I need to turn my force back up because the game crashes. It resets it back to 0. Well, 30, not 0, but you know what I mean. Back to a default. I'm gonna just put this on disabled, so I can actually get it spun back around out of the way. If it actually it moved before. I don't see why it wouldn't now. Alright, there we go. Going in reverse now. Get it spun back round. And back onto random, and hopefully goes the right way. The EX, that's going again fine. This thing is so lucky once again. It survived everything again. Just managed to find its way through. This is the 8th round, I think. And this car's been in since the very beginning. And it's the only one left from the original first round of the revamp. This, actually, I think it just looks worse than it is on the Sunburst. I'm pretty sure this car's going nowhere. It's on the racing line, so you know what, when everything goes around the second lap, how is the fuel tank still alive? It can't be, surely. Surely the exhaust is going through the wheel now. That is some damage this thing's taken. But if it doesn't get lapped, then I've got to wait for it. It's still going above 20. It's somehow just still moving at all, which I don't know how it is. The EX is still taking the corner cuts. And we're still on the first lap of the race. No, this way around seems slower. Maybe it's because everything's imploded, maybe. That might be it, actually. This thing is not going any further. I'm guessing the drive shafts... Oh, actually, I don't think the wheels would drive at this point. I had high hopes for this thing. It's one of my favourite cars in the game. And the AI on the practice run, well, when I test cars in the first place, it did really good actually, because that thing, it's got a lot of cornering speed. It's got really good through the corners, that car was. See, it's not good anywhere anymore. Just the aero keeps still have all of its... No, the lights are gone, which isn't really a surprise. Hopefully the Sunburst can catch up. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, it's further behind now than what it started, I think, even with everything being more spaced out than it was. And it was supposed to be. But this thing, under player control, can do over 200. Of course, it's not going to get there under AI control. But it's got the acceleration, it's got the top end speed if it wants to use it. It's got a puncture though, but there's nothing dragging under the car, so... Oh, the exhaust is damaged. There goes the rear bumper as well. They're not important though. Well, the exhaust is definitely going to come off this thing then over the curbs. The EX, of course, doesn't have an exhaust because it's electric. And on to lap 2, and it's going to be the first line after the curbs, which marks the start finish line, which is what this car's just come over here. So if this thing can catch up, maybe, hopefully, and we might still have a race for the lead. Yeah, I mean, it's still got to get past the hopper, which might just be... Well, they've got that bumper there, because I don't move debris off the racing line until something hits it and it gets stuck. And yet the hazards are on, this thing is dead. I think, unless I can put it now onto stopping, and put it back onto a random, see if it goes anywhere. This thing, it works. How? It's going the wrong way, so it's going to be the car in last place anyway. Let's get it turned back round, and this thing still moves. This thing still moves. How? How does it still move? So I don't get why it didn't move the entire time. Well, it's taken itself out the next round now. And I don't think it's not going to complete this lap anyway. Everything else has though. Yep. Somehow this thing still works and is now on the second lap. And how's the fight up front looking? I'm pretty sure it's catching up. I mean, they both haven't got the highest risk factors anyway, because they all spawn on 30. So I'll just hold it to get as close to 0.69 as I can, because that's where I found to be the happy medium, and also it's a nice number. So, yeah, so I think the highest one is actually the Hopper on 73. Which, crabbing speed-wise for the damage it's taken, is actually not all that bad. 37 mile an hour. I would expect this thing to be going about 5, if that, honestly. This thing is doing 80 mile an hour, shaped like it is. That was not something I was expecting. It's going to be about when this car catches. I mean, if it is an if, because it's not guaranteed that it will catch up. But this thing's doing 30, so yeah, it's going to catch up at some point. This thing, props to it for still working though, honestly. I mean, if you looked at it from the right angle, this thing looks okay from the front, really. I mean, you can see the door is a bit damaged, but if you look at it from this angle, or any other angle, even the top view, the roof's even buckled in a little bit. How's this thing going to make it into the braking zone shaped like it is? It's very wonky. Is it going to make it to the corner? No, it's going to go for a spin, but shaped like it is, I'm not even surprised. And this is the problem where, obviously, you got the grass and you got a wall immediately, so that is the one risk if the cars spin off at that point. The EX hasn't, they haven't passed the Hopper yet, have they? No, the Hopper has made its way over the top of the circuit. It's still going to be on the racing line, because it's not, well, the AI has decided that it still wants to keep itself on the racing line this time. Right then, EX is still making it around. The Hopper still leads the. I don't even think the Sunburst is actually catching up at this point. Again, I didn't have time to test it. I mean, it was the car I next planned to have at the back anyway. So I'd already tested it previously, but not like in a round, like the gap difference. But short on time, everything just not working anyway. So I mean, this thing shaped how it is. I don't even know how it's still working in the first place, really. Don't really know how this thing. Am I still on 8 FPS? I won't be surprised. 8.6. I've actually gained 0.2 of an FPS. Not bad. 43. This thing, okay, it's getting some speed now. Although the what's the Legrand doing? Doing a lot more actually. Doing quite a bit more, and it's going to plow straight into it. Unless it catches it into a corner, then obviously the speed's not going to be as great. But this thing, it's on the racing line, so slow things down. Maybe things will run smoother on slow speed. Yes, they will actually. I've got more FPS when it's slower, and straight. Oh! It ramps it. It's going to the back. It ramped up the back of it. I was not ready for that. Let's turn the engine off. Hopefully it can try and right itself. I don't think it will though. And right, I can't even get to this thing before the Sunburst comes through. That's going to go straight into it again. And yeah, the Hopper's not had a good round. The Hopper has, the Sunburst is going straight on as well. Oh, the body's come off! The Barstow's going the wrong way now as well. Which you love to see. Being that far behind and going now the wrong way. Let's get it turned round. And put it back now then onto random control. EX is not coming around yet. This thing how is it doing? How is it living? I mean, the suspension's gone, which isn't really a surprise. Not quite sure where this thing's going. So I'm going to put it on disabled and see what's going on. My wheels still steer, I think. Oh, it says I'm wanting to go backwards. Does it not go forward anymore? It goes in reverse by itself. I'm not even sure. Let's go back on stopping for a sec. Where's the Legrand at? Has that crossed the line yet? No, it's making... Oh, it's gone off the road though. It is off the road at the final corner. That wheel's gone. It just needs to get over the line though. Which it does. It makes it over the line. Yeah, suspension, those curbs are killer when you're low to the ground. Which is another reason why I wanted to use this, the road this way around again. It's on disabled, now it's going the right way at least. Put the power down. The EX is thrown to second place, doesn't matter. Let's get the Sunburst back on the road the right way. Put it back now under random control. Where this thing is... I'm not expecting it to still move. It's just a frame. And Richie, it is. The body's gone, it is just a frame. But everything, I mean, this thing, I tested before, it works as one-wheel drive on the rear. If it actually wants to, turn over. Where's the EX at? I'll wait for this to finish first, because the hopper's out anyway. I'm just more intrigued if it still works as a frame, honestly. Even so, even with spacing everything out, we still had all of the mayhem of a normal round. Alright, coming up now over the line. This is going to go straight into the Legrand. Let's put the speed on 4 times slower, so I can have more FPS than I normally do. I mean, what's my FPS here? 35. So you know what? Having it on 2 times slower is the way to go. And now then over the line for the Sunburst. Now is this thing gonna have a plough? No, everything's just completely avoided each other. Now then, can I just get this thing to freaking flip over? I mean, it is now the lightest thing here, but it doesn't want to be the right way up. I mean, this is why I turn the engines off, so they don't necessarily die. Well, why is it still on random? I turn the engine off, so put the engine back on to well, just put the engine back on. It still moves. This thing still moves. And back onto random. It still moves. It's actually just a frame. It's just a frame. It still moves. Come on, Hopper. Well, of course, the in-car cam stays where the body is. Now, is this thing still going to cause issues? How does the cinematic cam? Let's go. It's just a frame. This thing, I want to use this thing again because it's just a frame. This thing has survived as a frame. Then again, it caused so many issues I can't use it again. If this thing wasn't lapped, I would have to wait for it. The thing, it's one of my favourite cars. It's still... I want to use it again, but I know I can't. And it's taking the corner cut line. Now, is this thing going to plough... I swear, if this thing ploughs... If this thing ploughs into the back of the Legrand as well. No, because it pulls massively to the right, like everything else just pulls into a certain direction. And over the line for the Barstow. So it's only going to be the hopper that gets replaced next round. And straight into the back of the Legrand. And that's what took out the drive shaft. Not being shaped like it is, the end hit is what took out the drive shaft. Both the wheels on this thing actually still steer, although the suspension is gone. I'm guessing the fuel tank's gone as well because the thing's not actually going anywhere. So, this is still going to be the car that needs to win. Still, this thing survives somehow. So yeah, if you enjoyed this crazy round, and if you enjoy the background of my PC as well, which you know what, I might as well show it, since you can see it anyway. Yeah, it's just a 5M core kit. You know, although I tried playing 5M on this PC, yeah, it doesn't really work, so... Anyway, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you need to hit the notification bell, so you haven't any future videos. If you give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram, that'd be much appreciated. They'll be linked in the description down below. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all hopefully back under normal camera angles and that next time.